The handwriting on the wall, the fall of Babylon. What if you were given one final warning, a message written by an invisible hand that your time was up? What if, in the midst of your greatest celebration, doom was already at the door? This is the story of a king who defied God, a mysterious hand that wrote on the wall, and the sudden fall of one of the greatest empires in history. And today, I challenge you, can you disprove this event? Or will you see the undeniable hand of God? The story of Babylon's fall. The year was 539 BC. Babylon, the golden city, the unconquerable empire, was about to fall. King Belshazzar, grandson of Nebuchadnezzar, sat on the throne. He had seen Babylon's greatness. He had heard the stories of Daniel, of dreams, of the fiery furnace, of Nebuchadnezzar's madness and restoration. But he ignored them. That night, while the enemy was at the gates, Belshazzar threw a lavish feast. The city's walls were high, its gates were strong, the Euphrates River ran through it, ensuring a constant water supply. No army could breach Babylon. So the king laughed at the warnings. He surrounded himself with 1,000 nobles, wine, music, and dancing. Then, in an act of pure defiance, Belshazzar commanded that the golden vessels taken from the temple of God in Jerusalem be brought to the feast. These sacred items, once used to worship the Most High God, were now being used for pagan revelry, mockery, and self-indulgence. They raised their cups in drunken pride, toasting the gods of gold, silver, bronze, iron, wood, and stone. They thought they were untouchable. But then, it happened. The handwriting on the wall. A hush fell over the hall. A hand, human yet divine, appeared in mid-air. Without a body, without a voice, it stretched out a single glowing finger and began writing on the palace wall. The letters burned into the stone, glowing with an unearthly fire. Belshazzar's face turned pale. His body trembled. His knees buckled beneath him. The music stopped. The laughter died. The words remained. Mene, mene, tekel, upharsin. The king shouted for his magicians, his astrologers, his wise men. What does it mean? Read it. Tell me. But they were speechless. None could understand the writing. Then the Queen Mother spoke. There is a man in your kingdom, a man who once interpreted dreams for your grandfather Nebuchadnezzar. His name is Daniel. Call him, and he will tell you what the writing means. Daniel's interpretation, the judgment of Babylon. Daniel, now an old man, entered the hall. He looked at the pale, trembling king and the glowing letters on the wall. The king offered him riches, power, a royal robe, if only he would explain the message. But Daniel refused. Keep your gifts, O king. I will tell you the truth. And then Daniel rebuked Belshazzar. Your grandfather, Nebuchadnezzar, was a proud king. But God humbled him, and he learned that the Most High rules over all. But you, Belshazzar, knew all of this, and yet you have lifted yourself up against the Lord of heaven. You have desecrated the sacred vessels of God's temple. You have praised gods of gold and silver, but the God who holds your very breath you have not honored. Then Daniel pointed to the glowing words on the wall. Mene. God has numbered your kingdom and finished it. Tekel. You have been weighed in the balances and found wanting. Upharsin. Your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Judgment had come. That very night, Babylon would fall. The fall of Babylon. But how? The city was fortified with massive walls. The gates were strong. The river flowed through it, making it impossible to siege. Yet while Belshazzar feasted, the Medes and Persians had already devised a plan. They diverted the Euphrates River, lowering the water levels. Under the cover of darkness, Persian soldiers waded through the empty riverbed, slipping beneath Babylon's massive walls. The city's gates had been left open, unguarded. Before dawn, the Persians had overrun the palace. Belshazzar was dead. And just like that, the great Babylon had fallen. Re-engagement point, challenge to skeptics. How could Daniel predict Babylon's fall in a single night? How could an empire that seemed invincible collapse without a single battle? Why did the Bible record this event with such detail, long before history confirmed it? Coincidence? Or divine proof that God's word is true? He parted while destruction was at the door. The world today is doing the same. Will you be like Belshazzar, ignoring the warnings until it's too late? Or will you be like Daniel, standing firm, watching, and knowing that God is in control? When Babylon falls, where will you stand? If this message opened your eyes, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful Bible stories. Let's spread the truth together, because in the end, only one kingdom lasts forever. Will you be part of it?